Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an absolutely amazing day. Excited to be connecting in with you. And I'm just amazed that we are over halfway through July. We're here in the last week, and it's just amazing to me how quickly time moves. And I don't know if you're finding that as well, but I just continue to be amazed at how fast time goes. And so I just honor and celebrate that we get to have this time together to stop, breathe, pause, and really focus in on those things that matter most to us, that we get to have this opportunity with you to be and to pour into you and support you on your journey. I'm just honored and thrilled that you're here. Excited to introduce our two guests. I know you're going to love them as they stand for you and really help you tell your story through your image, how you're showing up in the world, and through your words, how you're bringing your messages forward. And they both stand powerfully and beautifully for that. So I hope you feel that support as we come together and we are taking this time to pour into you. Here's how you can get the most out of the time. Choose to be fully present. I know we love to multitask, but when you do that, you can miss things. And so I'm going to encourage you during this time that this is your time carved out for you. Allow us to pour into you. Give yourself that gift of being fully present. Choose to be here, open to receive everything that is of support to you. In fact, let's take a deep breath together. In through the nose, all the way to your toes, and then breathe out through your mouth through a straw, like you're pushing something out. And as you breathe, keep breathing those mindful, purposeful breaths. It helps center you. It helps ground you. It helps you create room and space for more. It lowers your cortisol levels, your stress levels. As you breathe out, you can release those things that no longer serve. As you breathe in that beautiful oxygen, it can bring support to every cell in your body. And it can bring in all those things that are nourishing and supportive and uplifting to you. And breathing out those things that no longer serve. In fact, let's close our eyes. You're absolutely safe. Put both hands on your heart. And take a moment, eyes closed, just to see, what is your heart wanting to share with you today? Beat by beat, pause by pause. What is your heart sharing with you to encourage you, to support you, to remind you? Sometimes we're moving so fast, or there's so many noises around us, we can miss the message of our heart. So as you're pausing, as you're breathing, as you're listening, I want you to ask, what is it that you need today that will encourage you, uplift you, empower you? What do you need today? Real time. Just what? We're not asking how, we're asking what. Take a moment, receive that information. Beautiful. Now I'm going to add a layer to this. So what is it that you need and are willing to receive, because you have choice? So what is it that you need and are willing to receive? Unattached to how, and just see if that shifts things a little bit. Beautiful. Let's take another deep breath. Come back into the room, fully present, eyes open, and take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart, what it is that you need and are willing to receive. Beautiful. So as you write that down, I'm going to go around our virtual room and have each of our guests share when they took a moment to stop, pause, and listen what message was laid on their heart. Just 10 to 15 seconds. What's something on their heart that they are feeling led to share with us today? Cathy, I'd love to start with you.
Good morning. The word that came to my mind kind of surprised me, but it was take a moment to pause, which I sometimes don't always do during the middle of the day. So that was important for me to hear.
Thank you. That pause can make such a difference, and that we can do it even in the middle of the day. I love it. Great reminder. Thank you. Margo, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
Thank you, Rebecca. I live in St. Louis typically, but I am in Colorado on vacation. And during that time, I couldn't help but peek out my window and notice the beautiful mountains in Colorado. I'm in Breckenridge, and I was just reminded how thankful and grateful I am for the majesty of the mountains, the beach, and it just grounded me and made me realize that I am in a beautiful place, and I've had this time to relax and have gratitude and show gratitude, and I'm so excited to talk about that today.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing. And those mountains are beautiful. And isn't that lovely that you got a chance to remember to look and drink it in? Because sometimes we can just get moving so fast, we miss the beauty around us. So thank you for giving us a moment to enjoy that with you as well. I appreciate it. Listeners, how about you? What was laid on your heart as you stopped, paused, and listened? Perhaps something that Cathy shared or Margo shared has added to what was coming through in your heart. So as we go to our first commercial break, I want to invite you to stay present, to use these next 2 minutes as time to listen to your heart, to write down, interact with what is bubbling up, and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow Voice America at facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to empowering women, transforming lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. Maybe you even took in a beautiful view. You were prompted or reminded to do that during that moment of just being. Sometimes we just miss things around us. I noticed this morning in my quiet time, this beautiful yellow bird has been visiting, and I got to just appreciate and see it, not just have it be a blur. And I could have missed that by being too busy or not making that choice for 1 minute to pause and take in and appreciate. So I hope that you take these moments throughout the show to pause, process, and appreciate what is being shared with you, what is bubbling up, so that you can drink in all that serves and supports you. I'm excited to introduce our first amazing guest. I know you're going to love her. Her name is Margo Martinez. She's the owner and founder of Be the Man, a men's image and lifestyle consulting firm focused on custom clothing for quality-seeking, hard-to-fit, busy, and successful gentlemen. She is also a football official, big fan of musicals, and a frequent traveler, as we are experiencing today. And she is passionate about helping her clients find and feel confidence and happiness through their clothing and their image. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the inspiring, dynamic, and powerful Margo Martinez.
Thank you, Rebecca. I'm so excited to be here.
You are welcome, and we are very excited to have you joining us as well. And I wanted to start with why. Why is this work of helping gentlemen in this way something that is so important to you?
Well, it kind of comes down to what I'm most passionate about in my business, to answer your question. It's more than just clothes. Mm-hmm. My clients have a lot going on in their lives, as we all do. They're business owners, they're lawyers, they are executives, and they're just looking for a person to help them dress their best and help them feel their best in the clothing they're wearing. When I first started in the business, I thought it was just about clothes. Mm-hmm. And I quickly realized it's really more about the client and how they think and how they feel and their self-image.
Well, thank you for sharing. I love that you go on that journey with them, and that it is more than clothes. It's this deeper process that they go through that goes into how their look comes together, which I love. So you shared a little bit about some of the types of people that you work with. What do you find that some of their biggest challenges are that you're able to help them navigate through?
The challenges my clients face in regards to clothing is primarily the fit, finding the right fit in their clothing, looking for a wider selection, a higher quality. And then also, these guys are extremely busy, so they're looking for convenience, and they're also looking for a relationship, somebody that knows them, knows their family, knows what they do, where they go, who they see. So when I go to see a new client, I always try to go in prepared, understanding their line of work, knowing where they're from, where they went to school, so that I can properly serve them.
Well, beautiful. And what a gift to have someone come alongside them in that way that can help them find those things that are going to look good and right on them, but also has an understanding of who they are and the image that it's important that they hold and stand in. Do you have a favorite example of someone you've been able to help in this way that comes to mind?
Yes, actually, that one does come to mind. He's actually one of the models in the book. I won't share his name, but he reached out to me a couple years ago after one of his buddies at a convention mentioned to him, "Hey, look, dude, you got to work on your image." essentially. Like,
Aw.
you got to step it up. And he was like, oh, okay, you're right. And so I had been posting on LinkedIn. He saw me online and reached out. And now he's featured in a fashion book. So, I mean, we've made a total 180.
How cool is that and powerful? Oh,
yeah.
I love that. Thanks for sharing. So you mentioned he's featured in the book. I'd love for you to share, what is this book that is coming forward? Why did you decide to write a book, and when is it coming out?
Thank you for asking that. There's a huge need for it, Rebecca. Even the brightest and most successful individuals I work with still have trouble putting patterns together and pairing colors to make a cohesive outfit, even though they've been in business for, many years. And so the book is primarily meant to help men put outfits together more confidently. Guys really struggle putting shirts with jackets or ties with suits or knowing what shoes to wear. And no matter how many times I go through it, and for the women listening, you can probably relate to a gentleman in your life that may ask them for help putting outfits together before walking out the door. And this book, this book is to help men be able to put outfits together on their own. So it's highly visual. 17 of my local clients in St. Louis modeled for the book. So they're men of all ages, different sizes, different heights, different race. And so they are relatable, and they look great. I'm totally biased, but they did a great job modeling. And so the point is to help men put outfits together, and hopefully they're able to do that with the photographs, as men are highly visual.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And my mind is just thinking about what brilliant timing it is to have this book coming out, and what an amazing gift it could be too for those men in our lives that perhaps this is a struggle, or maybe they want some tips or ideas or those types of things. They can see real amazing men that have these amazing outfits together and given guidance and direction on how to capture a look that might work really well for them. So do you have a favorite part about the book? Or, I mean, what are you just so excited, can't wait for it to get into people's hands? What part?
Oh, gosh. I have, my favorite part of this whole process is seeing how excited my clients have been that modeled for it. I mean, they are like, Margo, I'm going to be a model now. Like, I have, so many family members and friends that have been so excited about it. And so while we're helping people put outfits together, even people that I haven't even met yet, right, that will get this book in their hands and gain inspiration to not only put outfits together that they may already have, but to go out and say, ooh, a berry sport coat or a light gray blazer, that kind of looks like something I'd like to try. And that inspiration I'm excited about for guys to feel more confident going and trying something new, but also the excitement my clients have had that modeled for it has been really fun to see.
I love it. And I feel almost it's contagious in a great way that they're getting to experience and be part of it and bringing forward. So when is the book coming out? I always love everyone to be able to mark the date on their calendar, because I know there's some special things about the release date. So what date is it coming forward?
The date will be August 20th.
Okay. Perfect. And listeners, those of you who have been following us for a while know whenever possible, we love to let you know about books coming out ahead of time and have you mark it on the calendar, so August 20th, because there is a special rate the first 24, maybe 48 hours of its release, and you can take advantage of that, leaning in and getting your copy. That special rate is going to be $2.99 for the first 24, possibly 48 hours, so make sure to take action the first 24. And we'd love your support in helping us share it out to reach as many people as possible, having a beautiful guide like this to help them try some new things and be able to put together those powerful, successful outfits that can help capture their image or even up-level their image if that's something they're working on. Anything you'd like to add?
No, I think you covered all of it in regards to the book launch.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Well, we're very excited. We're going to be helping promote and share out. And so, listeners, that'll be on the digital form, and then the print book will be coming out shortly after that. But the special rate is on that digital. So we really encourage you to lean in, get a copy, start to interact and see this beautiful book. I've gotten the opportunity to see a few of the pages and some of the images, and they are just gorgeous and creative and beautiful. I know it'll be something that you enjoy flipping through the book and will get inspired by. So very excited for you, Margo. Congratulations on creating something so powerful. And as you're looking ahead, you're very, very welcome. As you're looking ahead at this book coming out and really helping people stand powerfully and become that star in their life, are there any tips that you want to give that can help people really own that space even more as they're owning their image?
I do have a couple of thoughts on that. I would say the first thing I would mention is I've learned that in order to feel a certain way, sometimes it requires you to act a certain way. And what I mean by that is we all have client meetings, patient meetings, whether we are trying to decide whether or not we want to work out that day. We're just not feeling it. We all have days like that. And I just encourage listeners today to take that first step, whether it's, writing a book or opening your own business, starting a new hobby, traveling somewhere where you haven't been before, book the flight, write the outline, open the bank account, and just take the first step. And the last thing I would say is gratitude, manifesting, self-talk. Those have all played a huge role in the success of my business and taking the leap to officiate football and taking the leap to write a book. Manifesting, self-talk, those are words that are thrown around quite a bit, and I encourage everyone to determine what that means for them and do some soul searching and really identify what works for them in terms of self-talk. Is it saying out loud the opposite of the negative feelings they're having, or is it speaking with a friend or a therapist, writing it down? Whatever that works for you is what I would encourage listeners to do today. And of course, gratitude is a huge, huge part of my life. No matter what's going on in our lives, let's be honest, life is hard sometimes. And so always looking for the positives and what's going right, not focusing on the wrong, but the right.
Beautiful. Thank you. Really great advice and tips. And I love this taking action and bringing that together with, a step. It doesn't have to be the whole journey, but take a step. Take a step today, not someday, not eventually, but today. Take a step and put some action into that manifestation and what we're wanting to bring forward, and the importance of gratitude as well. And I love that you're bringing up that self-talk and helping people find that way to support them, because we listen to what we say to ourselves, and it matters. Right. Yeah. Really, really great advice. Yeah. Well, thank you, Margo. I really appreciate your time. I know that you're on vacation and this is a busy season prior to launch. I'm just so appreciative that you were able to spend time with us today and sharing. We're excited for you. I'll have you come back on towards the end so we make sure people know how to stay in touch and get on your list and all of those great things. So thank you. And we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do, listeners, Margo's given us some really great things to consider and to think about. And I want to say now is the moment. This break, these 2 minutes, is the perfect time to reflect on some of those things that she's brought forward. So enjoy, reflect, see what comes up, and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
A little birdie told me Voice America is on X. Follow us at Voice America TRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you become a member yet? Sign up now to become a member of Voice America. It's always free and easy. Plus, you get to take advantage of some great member benefits. Get unlimited access to millions of hours of on-demand content across all of our channels. Keep track of your favorite episodes, shows, and hosts in your own customizable library. Find out what shows you might be interested in based on your favorites. Plus, you get insider access with our newsletter. Membership gives you more. Sign up at voiceamerica.com and click register at the top right.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you had a wonderful time just in that pause and in that reflection. I hope that you maybe realize some self-talk, or perhaps, wow, I really want to bring this forward, or here's the step I can take today. Maybe that step is I'm going to put August 20th on my calendar. I'm going to watch for that book. That's a tool. That's something that is going to be very supportive of me or someone in my life. That's a step I want to take. So whatever that step is, I hope that you came up with something that can help you continue to move forward in positive and powerful ways, and always looking for that gratitude. I'm excited to bring our next guest aboard. Now, she's a frequent flyer. She's been on our show many times. I love her, and I know that you, if you're just meeting her for the first time, are going to enjoy meeting her. And if you've met her before, I know you're back for more. So I'm excited to introduce Cathy to you. So Cathy Davis is the founder of Davis Creative Publishing. It was founded in January of 2004. Since then, it has helped over 1,500 authors publish their books, including over 500 of them becoming Amazon bestsellers. Her team works with transformational leaders, speakers, coaches, and consultants to publish books that share their wisdom, that inspire more people, that transform lives and help make the world a better place. Cathy is passionate about helping you tell your story. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful, dynamic, and inspiring Cathy Davis to the show. Welcome.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Rebecca, for inviting me back. I hope I can live up to that intro.
You are very welcome back, and I have complete faith because that is absolutely you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'd love for you to start with why. Why is this work of helping people tell their story, and particularly those that you work with, why is that work so important to you?
Well, I love what Margo said early in her talk, is that she's working with people who are getting more than just clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You may open up your closet and say, I want clothes, but there's a big difference between running Margo and running to Walmart. And it's very similar with what we do, in that we're helping people like Margo publish her book at a higher level for a higher level of clientele just the title itself of Margo's book, Well Suited, tells you exactly the type of work that she's doing. And one of the other parallels that I see is that we're not selling ink on paper. We're selling confidence and credibility. And I heard Margo say those same words. It's creating a professional impression and allowing you to create, it's an expression of your personality, and creating that professional expression through words in a book versus what Margo's talking about, that same professional experience and professional impression through the clothes that you're wearing.
I love the tie-ins there, and they're really powerful. And I'm curious, for those who maybe this, just like clothing, looking at it differently, looking at bringing a book forward differently, why does it matter how it is positioned, how that, are all publishing processes the same? Why does it matter that it's done in a certain process? I'd love to understand that a little bit, because some people that are new to it may not know there's a range out there.
And I'm often asked to speak and explain the industry, in which you need to be awake in this industry because it can literally change on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
So quite often I'm asked to come in and just explain what's the difference between traditional versus DIY versus where we fall, which is kind of in the middle between the two with custom books. But the metaphor I like to use is, if your 16-year-old daughter comes to you for her birthday and shows you this glorious cake of rainbow and gold foil and it's 6 tiers, and she's so excited what her friends are going to say about this cake, and you're used to being the person that makes cake based in a box with you add an egg and a cup of milk, maybe you're not the one that needs to be making that cake and you want to hire it out. The same works for your books, is that the impression you put out in a book that you're going to publish is your modern day calling card. It's your marketing tool for your brand. It's an expression of your brand and who you are and what you represent. You're a stake in the ground, so to speak. And if you're used to doing typography and art and design and photography and know how to put that puzzle together, go for it. But if not, you don't want to end up with that piece of paper between 2 book covers that's going to sell a brand that isn't you at all. I mean, if you're a highly professional person and you want to put across the best image that you possibly can, not only with your clothes, but with your marketing pieces, your brand is reflected in each of those. Your clothes are what you walk, your brand, and your book is you're talking your brand. You're selling what it is that you represent.
Beautiful. And it really matters how it's brought forward, and a team that can really help you bring forward, one, have a positive experience in the journey, two, that the end product is really aligning with what you're wanting to bring to the world and how you're doing it. Have you seen a difference? Because you were talking about how the industry can change so quickly, sometimes on a daily basis. Have you seen some major shifts in the industry since the pandemic?
The biggest shift, and I honestly talk about this every day with our authors, our clients, the biggest shift that I have seen is what the focus, the topic of the book is about, and what is selling the most, and what seems, from my perspective in producing books, what I see people eager to buy and eager to write about. Post-pandemic, people are looking for hope and community. And if the topic of your book can satisfy those 2 questions or those 2 needs, I feel personally that it gives it a greater propensity to be sold and people to buy your book. People are looking for how to redefine what their community means. Perhaps they used to work in a corporate tower and now they're working from home. Or perhaps, their best friends used to be the people that they worked with. Now if they're working from home, it's their neighbors. It's the people on their block. I know I happen to be lucky enough to live on a block where many of us do work from home before and after the pandemic. And so there is a community that a new definition of community that gets out and walks certain times of the day, or stops and talks, has conversations instead of a water cooler. It's by the bush on their front porch. And so that new community has changed, and a lot of people are looking to redefine that. And along with that, I have seen that sense of hope that the stories that are selling now, whether you're contributing one chapter to a collection of essays in an anthology or a solo book yourself, people are looking for solutions and answers. And what is it that your experience has? What is your expertise that you can share that will offer that hope and that solution to your community?
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I think that's really good information and insight for anyone who is looking to bring their book forward, to absolutely honor what's on your heart, what you're being called to bring forward, but be aware of how it's connecting, how it's serving the readers and the people out there. And so that's a really great insight in having that pulse on the market to really help authors connect with their readers. So thank you for sharing. And back to how dynamic the industry is, you mentioned, and you gave me some notes ahead of time of things that we could explore. And one of them, you mentioned there have been challenging experiences in publishing world the last 6 to 12 months. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about that.
Oh, my goodness. Another conversation that I tend to have on a daily basis. Amazon is always surprising us. I guess that's the nicest way to say it. And we've learned things over, especially since the pandemic, we've learned things. We don't publish books that have the word COVID still. And people are still asking, why not? It's just, it's just not a favorite word of Amazon. We don't publish books that have the word coronavirus. We find words to replace that. And now we're having to plan ahead even more because in the entrance of artificial intelligence, both Amazon and Ingram have created their own, what I call the robots, that are checking every book, every word, every paragraph that you write before they'll publish it. And sometimes the robots get it wrong. Mm-hmm. But especially over the last 6 months, we have experienced quite a few surprises from Amazon in how long it takes to be publishing or accepting a book to be published. So we've had to learn some workarounds and making sure that, one of the things that we do consistently and have gotten a few complaints is that we change cuss words. We instead of a word that might have the letter I in it, instead of the I, we're going to make it an exclamation point. It's just one of the things that we do that hopefully will make it a smoother acceptance into the Amazon and Ingram world. At the same time, we're just loading them earlier up into Amazon in case there is a setback or a delay. We've built in some time. And so it's shortened some timelines for some authors, but we're the ones that are having to speed up internally just to kind of make sure it gets done and gets out and gets done well and cover all the dots and make sure all the T's are crossed to make sure that we've done everything possible that we know to do in order to play on the good side of the Amazon robots.
Exactly. I love that. And I appreciate how nimble you are in having to navigate a changing landscape like that to help people continue to bring their messages forward. And Ingram Sparks is, for those of you who aren't familiar, it's the interface for the books being published and printed on demand for places like Barnes & Noble or Books A Million. So it's a way to reach those additional places outside of Amazon. So being in both places is really great and powerful positioning to reach as many people as possible. So I love that you guys do that. And I know we're in a very dynamic environment right now with politics and global warming, and even people's emotions seem to be more sensitive or quicker to anger, just I think with everything going on. So is there a silver lining that you're seeing as you support authors and they're adapting to this charged and dynamic environment, what would you say the silver lining is?
I think the biggest takeaway, and I've heard this a couple times in the last week. I was on a Zoom call where there was a group, and one thing I've noticed is people I know or people I don't know. It's easy for tempers to be very short lately, just amongst all that list that you just rattled off. And I happen to be the one coordinating the call, the one trying to gather information and share information. And after the call, I received a text from someone that was on the call that thanked me for how I handled this high-tempered person. And it's not the first time in probably the last 3 weeks that someone has said how much of a calming element that I am when I'm on a call. And it's almost hard to talk about myself that way, but it was such a compliment. And the fact that I've heard it 2 or 3 times in the last few weeks was like, oh, I never really noticed that. What I'm really trying to do on these calls is just to, whether it's a call or a book or a project, is to help people realize that sometimes there are things that we can do to fix situations and there are things that we can't. Mm-hmm. You know, this morning someone tried to corner me on the call and say, well, why can't we cuss, or why can't we say the word coronavirus in a call? She said, I want to see papers about it. And I go, well, unfortunately, there are no papers. It's just experience from having worked in this field for a while and knowing trial and error. Let's do this, let's do that, and what does expedite it. But sometimes when you don't know what the real rules are, a sense of calm, for me anyway, is the best tool that I have in order to help people realize that life's going to go on. This is not the worst thing that's going to happen today. You know, we've all survived the last 5 years, and we're going to survive this year too, and it's all going to be good. And by the time we get to the other side, we're going to have a whole lot more to talk about.
Beautiful. Well, I love that calming way that you are and what you bring to these types of things, that you're able to do that's being recognized and highlighted, and you're getting to see that. So I celebrate that. And I think it's a great reminder to us all. I mean, we get to choose how we show up and respond to things, and we get to have the perspective. We can take a breath, we can take a pause and choose how we respond. And I feel like you're really, really good at that, Cathy. In those situations, you're able to take a breath and just kind of let's redirect, let's reprioritize, because we don't want this one thing that maybe surprise something or be different. It doesn't need to hijack the whole situation, and it can get out of proportion. So helping people focus
well, thank
on
you
the
for
right
that.
things.
Somewhere along the way, I learned there's always a solution. We may not all agree on what that solution is, but at least it'll be a temporary solution until we find a better one. So
exactly, there's always a way forward.
That's what we look for. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you, Cathy. I appreciate it. And I so enjoyed talking with you, but our time goes very quickly. Did you have any final thought or share that you wanted to bring forward to our listeners today?
I heard all three of us this morning talk about how to manifest and create what it is that you want in your life. If you're wanting a better brand, what does that look like, and how can you make that happen? And the important part that I've heard us all say today is that you can think about what it is that you want to create and manifest, but then remember that there's a next step, which is to take action. Go make it happen. Whether it's write a book or clean out your closet or improve your wardrobe, it's up to us to take that next action. That would be my takeaway for today.
Thank you, Cathy. Really important. And I love that we all have that on our hearts, that we're all united in that. So really, really beautiful. So listeners, as we go to our next commercial break here, I want you to think about what's been shared, bring that in, and I want to encourage you, Extra Credit Bonus Challenge, what is an action you can take today, not someday, a step, an action you can take to help bring forward those things that you're wanting to be and you're wanting to manifest in your life. And we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on LinkedIn. Connect with us today.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that moment, those 2 minutes, and have written down an action you're going to take. At the end of today's show, I'm going to invite you, instead of just rushing back into the day, take 2 minutes, take a moment for you, and start to be in action. Choose how you're going to step back into the day. The day doesn't get to be in charge. You do. So I'm going to go around the room, have each of our guests share their contact information because I want you to be able to connect with them. I want you to be able to go deeper. So Margo, can we start with you? Share your contact information. Give us the full title of your book, the launch date again, in case anyone missed it. And then for anyone who wants to go deeper or even maybe have you help them with shopping, anything like that, I'd love for you to let us know the best way.
Yes. So the book will be launching on August 20th on Amazon. For the first 24 hours, it will be available for $2.99. So make sure to mark your calendars to get your copy. You can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn at Be The Man LLC. You can also go to my website, BeTheManLLC.com, which is the best way to reach out to me. You can subscribe to newsletters on my website at BeTheManLLC.com. You can also reach out to me through the website if you're interested in shopping with me or learning more, or just interacting with me regarding my business or book. I'd love that. And so LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Be The Man LLC.
Beautiful. And the full title of your book again?
Well Suited, Dress with Confidence, Live Well Suited.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you, Margo. I appreciate it. And we're excited about August 20th, just around the corner.
Sure is. Thank you.
Absolutely. You're welcome. And Cathy, what is the best way for us to connect in with you and go deeper?
So the website address is daviscreativepublishing.com. And the easiest way to connect with me is to check my Linktree account, which is Cathy with a C, middle initial L, last name Davis, Cathy L. Davis on Linktree. Not only will they find my Facebook and my LinkedIn they'll also find links to the website as well as to free downloads for information about marketing tips and how to write your back cover copy and fun stuff like that. That's all free. And they can find that at Cathy L. Davis on Linktree.
Perfect.
Or they can play around the website, daviscreativepublishing.com.
Beautiful. They can choose their favorite way to connect in. That's perfect. Yeah. Well, thank you, Cathy. I appreciate it. And I just always enjoy having you on the show. So thank you I know it's a busy time of year, so thank you for carving out time to be with us today. Absolutely. And listeners, thank you for joining in and being part of the conversation and letting us pour into you. I hope that you've had some great insights and tips, and as you reflect on what was laid on your heart to bring forward, that you have found some things to have shifted in a positive way to be able to take action to move forward those things that matter most, to be mindful of how you're showing up, to tell your story in image and in words. As you go back out into the world, I encourage you to share the amazing gift of who you are. I feel like that's the biggest positive ripple we can create, is by showing up and sharing more of the gift of who you are. So as you go forward, be willing to bloom where you are planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.